Hello friends. So today we are going to deal with other small topic of teaching aptitude. Okay. I think you get an idea about the teaching aptitude in the previous classes. Today we are going to deal with learners characteristics, the classification and the characteristics of adolescent and the characteristics of adult. Okay. So we know that the learner is an important part of learning. Okay, that we have already seen that the important factors that we needed for a learning process to happen, the learners, we should have to know the knowledge about the learners. So here we are going to deal with the characteristics. What are the characteristics we can see in the part of the learner? When we understand the learner more, the teacher is able to teach in a very good way. So we are moving to the topic. Listen to the class, then only you are able to understand it well. Learner's characteristics and classification. Okay, learner. Who is a learner? Learner is a person who learn, acquire new knowledge. Any person can be a learner. So now you are listening to my class. You are also a learner. That is, you are ready to acquire the knowledge. Any person who is ready to acquire the knowledge is a learner. There is no age barrier for that. And the people, that is the scientist, has clearly divided the learners classification. They have classified learners into four types. Okay, four levels are there. What are the four levels of a learner? That is the characteristics of the learner. First one is the cognitive level. If the student, the IQ level is different for different students. That is why some people are able to easily acquire the knowledges. Okay, they are easily acquired by hearing just for one time. Some take a long time to hear it. So according to the intelligence, we have divided the students in different level. So the cognitive level, that is intellectual level, has an important part in the learning process. So cognitive is the one of the perspective we can see in the characteristics of a learner. Okay, there is memory as well as intellectual. There is these two levels are what we call included in the cognitive level. Next is the academic level. Academic level means the education type or the level in which the student kept. That is, the previous knowledge of the student is an important part for teaching them. What they have already, then only we are able to teach them the next level. So we have to know what level now they are, whether they are in the which level, that is the lower level, higher level, or advanced level, which level they are. The academic background we have to know about the learner. That is the second characteristics we have to keep in mind. Next is the emotional level. That is, some students have the mood swings. They will sit idle in the class, or sometimes they will be very active in the class. That is, sometimes they are hyperactive people are there. So that when you study the psychology of education, we can see the different type of characteristics we can see in the learners. So mood swings can be seen in the students. That is the emotional attachment. That is also a part. Some students have high attachment for the teachers or for the parents, like that, but some doesn't have. They will be like isolated people. So emotional level is also have an important part in the case of a learner. So emotional level can also influence the learning process. Okay, so these all levels influence the learning process. And if all these levels are good for a learner or in the high level for a learner, that learner is able to acquire the knowledge very easily. Next is the social level. That is, social is the values in which from which background the learner is coming, whether he is from a good religious, that is cultural background, political background, religious background. All these factors can be a reason for the learner to have acquire knowledge. You think that why all these things are included in the social background? Because the society teaches a lot of things in their life that can become a part of their learning process. That is, when they acquire the knowledge, all these things they can put as an input for their learning process. So these four things, that is the cognitive level, academic level, emotional level, and social level. This classification, the learner is classified according to this. According to this four level, we are going to classify the adults and adolescents. Okay, so first they have given the four levels, that is the cognitive, academic, and emotional and social level. So you have to get a thorough knowledge about it. Cognitive is intellectual, academic is educational, emotional is the psychological or mood swings, whatever the emotional attachment the students have. Next is the social. Social is what I have to say, that is the cultural background, okay, that we have to understand. So by keeping all these things in memory, we have to classify the adults as well as the adolescents. Okay, so we are going to the next part. Okay, that the characteristics of adolescence. So by keeping these four levels, we are going to find the characteristics of an adolescent. Adolescent is a person who is between, teenagers. Mainly we consider. Okay, that is cognitive level. Cognitive level, see, complex of moral issues. They are always in a confusion whether which is correct. They are always in a confusion, that is right or this is right or that is wrong. They are always in a confusion. They have to find the correct moral level. So they are living in a different social background. When they move to some other areas, they are in a confusion whether that is right or this is right. So moral issues will always come as a problem for the adolescent students. Then impatient in change, they will be always in a stress mode. Okay, they are always in a stress mode. They are not able to change. They are always surely connected towards their friends more than the family members, that we can see in them. Then intense curiosity, they are always eager to know the what is happening around them. They are always trying to understand what is happening around them. They want to interfere, or what we have to say, they have to understand what is happening, and if they are possible, they want to get into that what is happening there, and all these things they have to know about it. They always have a curiosity. Therefore, doing some experiments, or we can see their eyes, how they are responding to the each changes happening there. Then self-reflection, they always have a tendency to reflect themselves. Okay, reflect themselves, self-reflection. They want to make become heroes or heroines, like that. So there is a self-reflective area we can see in the adolescent students. The next is academic. Okay, as a if his adolescent person is a learner, all these things we can see in their cognitive level. Okay, or this, they are always in a confusion stage. That is, they are impatient, they have an intense curiosity, and have a self-reflection. Next is academic. Okay, concrete to abstract. We know that this we always study the teachers, students, from the concrete to the abstract level. For example, we know that the table, that is, we are able to touch it. So what we call it as concrete. And honesty. The word honesty, you know that we are not able to touch it. It is abstract words. Okay, like that. First we teach them. That is what we are able to see. All these things we teach them. Later only we teach them the more complicated areas. That is what we have made here. That is concrete to the abstract level. Next is active learning. They are always interested in active learning. They want to do something. If they study something, they want to make it practical in their life. So when they get a practical class, they are very happy, because more than theory, they want to make it do, and then only they are very satisfied with this. Peer group influence, that we know that also adolescent students. What happens is that is, after I already told you, that is 11 up to 11, 14, 15, that is 11, 12, then 13, from onwards 14, 19, 20 onwards, we never say it is an adolescent age. Up to the teenagers, that is, they are always influenced by the peer group. What the friends do, they always want to do what their friends do. They move on with their opinions. They don't want to break their peer group. So academically, if their friends are all studying, they also have a tendency to go for that. If they are loitering here and there, they also have such a tendency to loiter here and there without studying. So academic section, that is also a part of this characteristics of an adolescent students. So that we have to always keep that in mind. Next is the emotional level. They have a high swing of mood swing is peak. That I told you, it is an age of development happening both in their physical as well as in their psychological level. There is a high mood swing we can see in the adolescent students. So they have high stress. They are always in a confusion whether what they have to do. They always move on with their friends. They want to keep on with their friends, and The decisions always gone with them. They are not in a mood to hear the words of grown-up person or like that. They desire to be independent. They always want to be independent. They always move apart from their parents. Usually happening is that they move towards their friends. They want to be independent. Self-criticism. They want to make self-criticism for themselves, and they want to develop. That is their tendency for emotional development. Overreacting, as more than the students usually, or more small learners, what we have to say, the small children, the adolescent is reacting in a hyperactive way. We cannot understand how they react to the problems happening here or there. So it should be very careful when dealing with the teenagers. So adolescent students, their mood swing is high level. So the teachers who are teaching them, they should be very calm, and they know how to deal them in a proper way. Educational psychology will help them for doing all these purposes. So that this is the third area we have to know about the adolescent learners. Next is the social background. Model on all. They always keep some models in their mind. By keeping them in their mind, they always grow up and desire to make the things. Then seek approval of peers. I told you earlier itself that adolescents always make a group, and the peer groups decide what they have to do. So they want to always approve the peer students. Peer means friends, a group of same age. Okay, that is meant by peer. Okay, they always want to have a group together, and they want to do the things group together, and they want to become heroes there, and they always want to show the loyalty towards their peer group. And they are very experimental and exploring. That I told you earlier itself. They want to do some heroic activity. They always want to know whether it's right or wrong. They want to fight. They always analyze the things. Experimenting and exploring we can see in these students. So I told you the four things, that is the four aspects or four characteristics we can see in the adolescents. One is the cognitive level. The second I told about the academic level. Third I told about the emotional level. And fourth I told about the social level. So you have to keep these things. That are the four classification levels or the characteristics we can see in the learners of the adolescent age. Now we are going to deal with the characteristics of an adult. Okay, so I think now you get an idea about the adolescent students. Now we are going to deal with the adult, that is grown up people. What is their cognitive level, their academic level, their emotional level, as well as we have to know their social level. And here the cognitive level, that is self-responsible. That is self-responsible means, what is self-responsible? If see your teachers might be they are studying something, or your brothers who are grown-up people, if they are studying something, they are self-responsible for that. Nobody want to come and to tell them to go and sit and study. They will take it as self-responsible. They know what to do and what not to do. So cognitively they have fully developed. So there is self-development we can see in the adult persons. And intellectual stable. Intellectually stable means they have a lot of experience in their life. From the experience they have get a lot of things in their intellectual level. From that they decide what to do and what not to do. They are not in a Hamlet mode. They always know what to do and what not to do. And apply new knowledge and autonomous. Apply new knowledge means they want to it's a small kind of experimentation, but they have to apply what they know to the things they knew. Okay, that is they want to what theory they have studied, what they experimented, they want to do it in their original life, that is their real life. They're autonomous, they do it self. They never ask the help or seek their friends need or something else. Okay, so a peer group thing is not coming in the case of adults. They are self-responsible for all the things that is happening there. That is the specialty of the adults. And the case of academic level, okay, what is the purpose of this academic session? They will be grown-up people, so their attitude is very different from that of adolescent people. Adolescent, they always need some kind of support from outside, but in the case of adults, they never expect something like that. They want to do it self. Okay, result oriented. They when they join for some studies, they want to get the good result. Okay, they are only think about their success, not about their failures. Learn by doing. They do it by themselves. That is why the distance educations are given for the higher classes, not for the smaller classes, because they know how to do it by themselves. Next is requirement of high picture of what they learn, what they are learned. That is, they need the higher level, advanced level. That is, high picture here means the advanced level of learning is always needed for the adults. They don't need to know the ABCD or like that, the small areas or the smaller level. They don't need it because they have already learned all that matters. So they have to move on to the higher level. Advanced level is always needed for the adults. So I think you are able to get the difference between the cognitive level of an that is the adolescent and of an adult. Okay, so adult is a grown-up person, so they have their own ideas. They are self-motivated persons, and academic level also they always think for the best things. Okay. And adults, what is their emotional level? They are very controlled person, not like the adolescents. They are based in stress and strive, but not in the case of adults. They are very controlled. They are self-direction. They know what to do and what not to do. They have a clear-cut idea after PG what they have to do, whether they have to do for the PG after they have to do the net, or they have to do the JRF, or after that doing the PhD, whatever. They have a clear-cut direction. Self-direction is there. But in smaller students, they don't have. They want to get the guidance of others. So that is why in the +2 level, we are giving career guidance is given by the school level. And not in the college level itself, they are getting an idea of self-direction is always there for them. Then when they reach the adult level, they are self-directed. They know what they have to do and what they do want to do. And experience-it learning. Experience-it learning means already they are an experienced person. Or adult, I told that they have already a lot of experiences with them. So they know, so there is no need. That is experience-it learning means already from their experience, they know how to deal with the study material, how to move on with this research, or like the things they know how to deal with. They are in the higher level, so they're emotionally also they are in a high level. Gain competency, they have a high level competency than that of the adolescents. They have a higher level of capacity of doing the things. Okay, in a good way. Next is social self-directed. Socially, how they are self-directed means nobody there need to help them to guide them. There is no need because they know how to do it. I told you earlier itself. Those who are doing for the research, they are doing the PhD, they just need a guide. That's all you needed. They know how to do it. After knowing it, they know do it by themselves. Okay. Treat with respect. They know how to treat each and every person, and they themselves treat with respect, and they want to give respect to others and take respect. That is might be their policy. And they have pray for time. That is the main problem for the adults. They don't have enough time as the adolescents because they have a lot of time for the adolescents. And in the case of adults, they don't have enough time. So they were always in a mocking for the time that we can see in the case of adults. Okay, they are want to do something great than others. They never look for the peer group that we can see in the case of adults. So the four sections we can see here in the adults is that is the same like that of the adolescents. That's the cognitive level. Then we see about cognitive level is there, academic level is there, emotional level is there, social level is there. These are the four levels usually we can see in the all type of learners. Okay, whatever age group they are, we can see these four levels in the all type of learners. That is why we call it as learners characteristics. One of the main characteristics we can find by using these four levels. Okay, so we can compare the adolescent as well as adult. How we can compare them? Okay, what is the difference we can see between the adolescent group and the adult group? See, what is the difference? Adolescent growth and development. That is, we know that there are teenagers, they are always growing, both physically and mentally. The growth and development is always happening in the adolescent learners. No internal motivation. They have no internal motivation. Outside motivation is needed. That is for the teachers, parents. If the guidance somebody is giving, they have to always motivate them to their right track. Otherwise, they will move out from their correct direction. Okay. No willingness to learn. They don't want to learn themselves. They want to be very lazy, and they want to move on with their peer groups. That we can see that. So we have to make them to track them to the correct level. That is what we have to do for the adolescent people. And easy adjustment to change. They will change, move on changing. We can see they are moving on changing with the changes happening around them. So society, how the society is changing, they are ready to move on with that. That we can see in them. So all these things we have to keep in mind about the adolescent students, okay, or the adolescent learners. All these things we can see in the adolescent. And what about the adults? Their growth has stopped, their development has stopped. Their physical, mental growth might be happen. Okay, their physical growth is over, and mental growth can some times is a little bit we can happen, and somewhat it is over there. And internal motivation, that is, there is no need of motivation from outside. They are already prepared themselves for make changes to them and to start something new. So internal motivation is happening in the adults, but it is not happening in the adolescents. Okay, that you have to keep in mind. Then willingness to learn, they are already ready to learn the matters. So it is from their inside. They decided to do some PGs, some extra classes, or some extra PGs or PhDs or some other IP sector, whatever they are taking. It is according to their willingness. It is not compulsion from outside. No adjustment to change. They never adjust because already they are physically and mentally they are already developed. So they cannot change themselves. Okay, so they are not able to adjust to the changes. That is what we can see in the case of adults. So that is the difference between the adolescent and the adult learners. Okay. So I think it is a small chapter. It's a small, very, very small chapter. It is only deal with the learner's characteristics. That is the 4 classification level. That is the cognitive level, academic level, emotional level, as well as we have seen the social level. All these things we can see in the adolescents as well as adult. We have to compare and to study this. This is a portion for you, and they will ask question from this side. So each question carries 2 marks. So do you have to keep that in mind? I think you are clear about this topic, and today we are going to stop this class with this small topics. So study well, all of you. We can meet in the next class. All the best for all of you. Don't forget to subscribe this channel. Okay, thank you.